So I've been noticing, like with the Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters that came out, there were a lot of low scores, and I thought to myself, here we go. I knew this was going to happen, especially Metacritic. Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 at one point had Metacritic scores below a 1 because people are review bombing because they want a console version. And I get it. I get that you want a console version of these games, but review bombing really isn't the way to do it because, okay, so the business of game, especially with like gaming companies that do look at review scores and stuff like that, my fear is that a company like Square Enix will look at the time they put into the Pixel Remasters, the different people that are working on the project, and they're going to say, see, the reviews are terrible, people don't want these games anymore, let's go do something else. Let's put our time and projects into something else. See, the other way to go about this would be, if you haven't played it, don't review it. If you have reviewed it and you enjoyed it, leave an honest review. Leave an honest review. Now, I get, let me say first, I get why people are upset there's no console version. I am too, because here's the thing, I don't play games on mobile. I don't play games on this right here. Got a PS4, PS3, I've got every PlayStation, a couple Nintendo systems, PS5 over here. I got a few different things I can play games on. I've got a Mac that is crap, but it's like, you don't want to play games on a Mac. Am I going to upgrade to a $2,000 or $1,500 PC so I can play the Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters? No, I'm not. But is it fair to review bomb these things just because you're not getting your way right now and there's no console version? That's not really fair either, if you ask me. Now, I want there to be one, but this isn't the way to go about it. All this is going to do is people who are new to Final Fantasy. And this is a situation too where people these days cannot take themselves out of their own shoes and put themselves in someone else's shoes. This happens a lot these days, and this is truth. Someone who is new to Final Fantasy, who maybe 12, or not 12, maybe 13 was their first one, maybe 15 was their first one, maybe 7 Remake was their first one, maybe 14 is their first experience with it. They're going to look at these reviews and say, see, I knew these old Final Fantasy games were trash, I'm not even going to play them. When in fact, they are some of the greatest stories ever written in a video game. I love the story of Final Fantasy 4 and 6. Of course, 6 is amazing. You know, if we're looking at the originals, 3 is pretty good, but I love 5. And the artwork in 5 is amazing. These Pixel Remasters actually look really good. I just cannot play them right now. I don't have a PC. I have a Mac, so Steam is out. I don't play mobile. I'm not playing mobile. I'm not doing it. That's not what my phone's for. My phone is for it's a communication device and a meme box, basically, and to do business on social media and through email and things like that. That is what my mobile device is for. I don't use it for gaming. If you do, that's wonderful. I don't. So I can't play these until there's a console version or I have a PC. So I get those people who are frustrated by that. I do, because I'm one of those people who cannot play it right now. But this, I don't think this is the way to go about this. There's a way to make your voice heard on this if you want a console version of it. I don't think review bombing is the way to go. That's the easy way to go. See, that's the thing these days too. Let's not make our voices heard in a way that's going to get some stuff done. Let's do what's easy. Let me just log on to Metacritic real quick and leave a 0 or leave a 0.5 or something like that. That's easy. You're sitting in your chair bitching and hitting a button. Find a representative from Square Enix and don't bitch. Don't come at them with negativity. Just find a representative from Square Enix on Twitter or anything like, hey, we would love console versions of these. Can we please do it? Can we please get it? That's how you make these things happen. Now, another part of this is, I'm sure it's a business decision for sure. Like, I don't know what their contract is with Sony, or what percentage of their games Sony gets if they publish it on a Sony platform or Xbox or anything like that. I'm sure it is a bigger cut that Sony gets than Steam gets. I'm not real. For those of you who know in the comments, let me know if you know what percentage Steam gets for publishing your game and sale, per transaction, whatever, and what cut, like, you know, Xbox or Sony gets. I think Xbox is a little different because of Games Pass, and that's something else. If Games Pass were to land these and put that, you don't think these will do really well on Games Pass if you had an Xbox console? If you're somebody like me that didn't have a PC, I would consider getting an Xbox. I would consider getting an Xbox to play stuff like this if it were on Games Pass, because I don't have a PC. I know I'm a very specific situation there, but that's just one way to look at it. But, you know, I think companies are really getting sick of review bombers, and they're not really looking at that. Review bombing is just a way to go into your echo chamber and just bitch into the void. But review bombing will work in the wrong way, because if people are turned off from these and they're not buying them, that's what these companies look at. And they're not looking at it in a way as like, oh, this didn't sell well, we should really make a console version because that's what these people that are bitching want. No, they're just going to be like, okay, so all these SNES, PS1 era games that we wanted to do something else with, Chrono Trigger, all these other games we want to do, we're scrapping them because people don't want them. We see it right here. They don't want them. So let's move on. We won't ever get that stuff. That's how these things really work. That's what's really going on here. So, and I get it. Like I said, I want a console version, but I don't think review bombing is the way to go. I don't. And it's not because it's like, oh, let's be nice. That's not it at all. That's not what this is. You know, it's fine to be pissed, to be upset about something, and make your voice heard, but review bombing, it's like, it's the easy thing to do. And people always, human beings, it's a human thing. Human beings love to take the easy way out, the easy way to fix a problem or whatever. And who's to say there's not a console version in the works? I just feel bad for the people that actually worked on these Pixel remasters. And again, we can't take ourselves out of our own shoes and put on somebody else's shoes for a little bit. We can't do it anymore. Human beings have lost the ability to do that. When I see stuff like this, I don't think of the CEOs that have 5 houses on 5 different continents or whatever. I think of the artists who are making just a base salary, who loved working on these, that couldn't wait to get it in people's hands, that couldn't wait to see what people thought about it, and then boom, this happens. It's bad business, but it's also bad fandom. And we have to start realizing that those two are very interchangeable. Bad business, and there's also bad fandom. And we gotta start changing it. Because bad reviews, if it warrants bad reviews, if it's a bad thing, fine. But review bombing it just because there's not a console, that's very like kid whining because they didn't get a toy. Come on, people. Come on. Now, if you didn't like it, if there was something about the game you didn't like... Now, I have read that there are things within the Pixel remasters that are wonky, like the font was weird, where... That's fine. That is a legitimate complaint with the game that is presented to you. If you want to play it on mobile, if you want to play it on Steam, if you're actually playing the game and you have issues with it and you want to put a bad review, because... that is something completely different, and that warrants a bad review, if that is your opinion. But to just come out and be like, well, I can't play because it's not on a console, or, you know, blah, 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 whatever, you know. If you haven't even touched it and you leave a bad review, fuck that. Fuck that. Because you don't know. It could be great. It could be great. Now, I will say that the best part of these things that I've seen or heard so far are the music. The music is incredible. Like what they've done with the remastered tracks on these and completely re-recording these tracks, phenomenal. I want these albums. Like, before I even touch the games, I'm like, I want these albums. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. Leave a comment, disagree, agree, whatever. That's your opinion. This is my opinion. That's how opinions work. That's how opinions work. It's not about being nice. It's about being honest. It's time we all start being honest about this stuff. This is a case, in my opinion, of bad fandom. This is bad toxic fandom right here. You know, the internet's giving everybody a voice, and sometimes people don't use that voice properly. You know, that's just the truth. That's the way it is. And I feel bad for the people who worked on these projects because they see these reviews, they're like, what part of this did they hate? You know, was it the part that I worked on? Or whatever. And if the part they worked on did suck, then that's warranted. Like I said, you did a bad job. If I do a bad job, I expect people to tell me I've done a bad job. But if it's just a pissy opinion because it didn't come out on a console, like I have, I think it sucks it didn't come out on a console. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go on here and review on it. Because the people that are playing them seem to love them. They're saying they're great. So it is what it is. I think you all know where I stand on that now. Leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about that. As always, be good to each other. Stay safe out there. Keep rocking, baby. Keep rocking. Always keep rocking. I will see you on the next video.